In this video, I'm going to be talking about my experience of the Bose A20 Aviation Headset and why this is the most expensive mistake I've made with my aviation purchases to date. If you're thinking about buying or upgrading to the Bose A20 headset, then this content may be of interest to you.
Spyview, Golf Charlie, Oscar Charlie Golf, lining up runway 01, Spyview.
I've owned my headset now for around 2 years and put around 250 hours through them, so I've got a fairly good idea of how they operate in most conditions. I originally chose the Bose A20s because I've had a very good experience of some of their other products. Also, the flying school I trained at was using reconditioned units for their students. There are loads of different aviation headset manufacturers out there, and the arguments as to which one's better will be the same as Android versus Apple. Proponents of one product won't like the other and vice versa. So it really comes down to personal choice. But what I want to do in this video is to give you my experience of the Bose A20s. So in this video I'm going to cover the following topics: what comes with the headset from new, specification, variants, general operation, power and battery supplies, customizing the control and audio response features, Bluetooth operation including making and receiving calls, wired auxiliary inputs, physical feature, and lastly cost. I want to start by saying that I am absolutely blown away by the audio quality of the Bose A20 headsets. It feels like Bose took their best audio headset, went to their engineers and said, please can you convert this into an aviation headset. The frequencies throughout the entire range are breathtaking, and if it didn't look silly wandering around the house with them on my head, I would use them for watching the TV or listening to music. It is exceptional. I'm assuming that the microphone quality is the same. The reason I say this is that many of the pilots I've spoken to who have received my transmissions seem to say that I come through clearly. But obviously there will be other factors that influence my transmission quality. Those will include my radio, background noise, my intercom, background interference. But I have heard other pilots with open cockpit using the Bose A20s making transmissions, and they come through crystal clear. The Bose A20 are active noise reduction headphones, which means that they cancel out background noises, and there are features on the outside of the headset that allow that active noise reduction to work so effectively. So, what's in the box? So I've had this aviation headset now for 2 years, but I've had a look on the website and it would appear that nothing has really changed in that period of time. So the first thing you get is this carry case for the Bose A20 headset. It's a really nice case. It has a carrying handle on the top and 2 zips either side to be able to close and open the case. Inside the case there's room for the aviation headset, and also there are 2 loops to allow you to carry spare batteries. There's also a little area for you to put your address label in if you wish. Setting that aside, we then have the aviation headset itself. In this particular instance, I have the general aviation dual plug arrangement. There are a set of 2 AA batteries which are included, and also there are these clothing clips. I personally don't use these, but I know they are popular with a lot of people. Bose also supply you with a 3.5 to 3.5mm auxiliary cable. So there are 2 control variant modules available from Bose. The first is the Bluetooth control module, and the second is the non-Bluetooth control module. You can identify the difference between the 2 of them by the presence or absence of the Bluetooth module button. My version is the general aviation dual plug version. You can also get U174, U384, 6-pin, 5-pin XLR and 8-pin versions. The modules are both operated in a very similar fashion. So I'm going to concentrate on the Bluetooth module, which is a little bit more sophisticated, but essentially all of the buttons that are available on the Bluetooth module are also available on the control module with the exception of the Bluetooth option. So looking at the Bluetooth control module in isolation, here we have the volume knobs. These are for stereo operation. The left and the right sides can be operated independently. Here I'm turning the right side volume down with the left on maximum, and the same for the other side. The shape of the buttons allows you to adjust both with a thumb grip so that you don't have to adjust each independently if you like, and the mechanism works very well. Down from the volume selector is the power indicator. The power indicator will give you an indication as to whether the power is running through the unit, and in the case of battery operated units will give you an indication on the status of the battery. Below this is the power button. Unique to the Bluetooth module is both the Bluetooth indicator and the Bluetooth operation button. Beneath this, for both the Bluetooth control module and the conventional control module, is the mute, mix and off button. The mute, mix and off button gives you control over the secondary audio mode selector, and I'll explain that a little later. Turning the module up slightly, you can see the auxiliary audio input, which is a 3.5mm jack. To gain access to the batteries, you depress the cover on the back of the unit quite firmly with your thumbs and slide it in the opposite direction to the plugs. The door will then swing free. It's supported by a little connector. Inside are two AA batteries. These take a little effort to remove and sometimes require a nail just tucked in order to free them. The batteries are inserted like so. To turn the unit on, press this button. The green light indicates that there is battery power, and flashing green suggests that the battery is in good condition. Flashing blue suggests that a Bluetooth device has been connected. To turn the unit off, press and hold this for a couple of seconds, and you'll see that the light turns red for a brief moment and the headset is turned off. So a green flashing light means that the power is on and the batteries are in good condition. If the same light is amber and flashes fast, it means that the power is on, but the batteries are low and that there are only 8 hours or less remaining. If the light is red and flashing very fast, then it suggests that the power is still on, but the batteries are very low, probably got less than 2 hours before the unit shuts off. If the unit is off, then there is no power and the batteries are flat. The dual GA U174 and U384 versions are all battery powered, whereas the 6-pin, 5-pin XLR and 8-pin versions are powered options. Now Bose recommend that you replace batteries with alkaline batteries only. Now I've looked on various forums and it would appear that you can use rechargeable or lithium batteries, but I don't know what potential damage this might do to the headset or the control module. And given how expensive these units are, I personally would recommend that you stuck with alkaline batteries. If you really don't want to use alkaline batteries, then you may be better off considering switching to an aircraft powered unit. That would involve changing these plugs for one of the powered versions available from Bose. Underneath the batteries is a further control panel. So when you're using the headset, the primary audio that you will hear will be that associated with the aircraft. That's incoming radio calls and any audio that might come from your instrument panel. You can choose to have a secondary audio input. This is either Bluetooth in the case of the Bluetooth control module, or via the auxiliary jack if you're using the conventional control module. Underneath the battery compartment, there are some further switches, and I'm not sure whether it'll be clear on the video, but these switches are located in this position here. These switches allow you to further customize the headset to your liking. On the top is a small micro switch labeled BT and auxiliary. This allows you to decide which audio input you wish to prioritize. If the switch is set to BT, then the Bluetooth will have priority. If it's set to auxiliary, then the 3.5mm jack will take priority. Beneath that is a switch mono and stereo. This is particularly relevant for individuals who have a stereo intercom in their aircraft. There is also an auto on, auto off feature. The auto off switch in this position means that if the headset detects that there is no audio input for some time, it will switch off. I personally would recommend that you switch this auto off to off. The reason being is that I found on some longer trips where I've been quiet for a little time, the headset has turned itself off and I've then had to go through the effort of turning it back on again. On the side of the unit is a Bluetooth volume that can be turned up and down by pressing it as required. Returning to this switch here, when I first started using this set, this particular switch caused me the most confusion. This switch is only associated with the auxiliary audio inputs. That is either through the Bluetooth or through the wired auxiliary input at the base. This switch determines what it is that you would like the unit to do when there is an audio transmission from the aircraft. For example, as follows. If the button is switched to off, it means that there will be no sound from either the Bluetooth or the wired connector. So if you plug something in here or you connect it to your phone, none of that information will reach the headset. If you switch this button to mix, if you're listening to music and a radio transmission is inbound, you will hear both the music and the audio transmission. By setting the unit to mute, if you're receiving a radio call, it will mute any music or telephone call that you happen to be making at that time. I prefer to set the unit to mute because it means that then any radio call interrupts and cuts off any other extraneous noise or interruptions. Of course, you should not be making telephone calls whilst piloting your aircraft. Connecting the Bluetooth for the first time is very easy. This light will initially glow purple. All you then need to do is to turn on Bluetooth on your phone or device. Bose A20 will appear in the list and you select that as an option and it connects straight away. Every time I've done this with a Bose headset, it seems to have worked without any issue, which is not something I can say for all of their products. Every time you turn on the Bluetooth feature, the headset will connect with the two most recently connected Bluetooth devices. If those devices are turned off or out of range, then the headset will go back to its pairing mode. So I believe that the headset can be paired with up to 8 devices, and if you want to reconnect to another device, you must press and hold this button for 1 second to put the headset into pairing mode. The Bluetooth indicator will then flash purple. Then look at the Bluetooth menu on your device and make sure that the feature is turned on. Select Bose A20 from the Bluetooth device list, and then once it's connected, it'll switch over to flashing blue again. If for some reason you want to turn the Bluetooth feature off, all you need to do is hold down this button for 5 seconds. If the Bluetooth is switched off and you would like to switch it on, all you need to do is just press it once and you will see the device engages. If you want to put it into pairing mode, you press it for 1 second and the light will turn purple. Operating the Bluetooth headset is quite straightforward. To make a call, simply dial the number that you want from your phone and it'll connect straight to your headset. To answer a call, all you need to do is to briefly press this button once. To end the call, simply press the button once again. If you want to activate voice control on your phone, press this button once. Hey Siri. If you want to ignore an incoming call, press and hold the Bluetooth button for 1 second. To redial the last number, double press the Bluetooth button. To transfer the audio from the Bluetooth headset to your phone, simply hold the Bluetooth button for 4 seconds. The headset itself is a very nice construction, very robust, doesn't seem to have any weaknesses at this stage. The microphone boom moves up and down, left and right, and you can adjust it to your liking. Each of these components can be removed and replaced, including this little fluffy bit up here and the ear pads as well. In fact, Bose have a very good support system for replacing any component. You can also reverse the position of the microphone boom, so you can either have it approaching from the left or the right. I have mine approaching from my right hand side, but equally you could have it approaching from the left. You just undo these little screws here, also undo the little screws there, and then just swap the components over. This little cover will replace the port on this side, and this microphone boom will be moved across to the other. And it has complete reversibility, so you can move it in the opposite direction. At the time I purchased my headset, there was a cost difference between the Bluetooth and the non-Bluetooth versions. Looking on the website, Bose currently report that the cost is $1,159 for both the Bluetooth and non-Bluetooth headset with the dual plug. It doesn't appear that there's a price difference between the two. I'm not sure if that's a print error or whether Bose are rolling with that. In summary, I absolutely love the Bose A20 headset, and I would certainly recommend them to anyone considering it. The reason that the Bose A20s have been my biggest aviation purchase mistake is because I chose to go for the non-Bluetooth version because I felt that that would save me some money. I think at the time it saved me £80. To replace the non-Bluetooth module with a Bluetooth module cost £270. So for the sake of £80, I've had to spend £270 to upgrade the module. Well, at least Eve has. So if you are thinking about buying the Bose A20s and you're not sure which version to go for, then I would suggest go for the Bluetooth headset from the start. If you don't use the module, no big deal, you've wasted 80 quid. But if you regret it, then you're going to have to spend another £270 upgrading your headset to the Bluetooth version.